Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense, back once again with a not a review, but this is more like another talk video. I had actually two subjects I wanted to talk about, and one of them is somebody asked a question on Facebook. What is our definition, or what is your definition of a cheapie? And I try not to get into the middle of controversy, or if people are saying what their opinion is, I try to kind of steer clear of it, just give my opinion and then back away. My personal definition of a cheapie kind of changed over time, as does with a lot of other people when it comes to fragrances or any other thing like purses, cars, houses, stuff like that. Depends on your money situation, for one. Also, how many milliliters that you're getting for, in this case, fragrances. There's a lot of variables that come into the play of a cheapie. I pulled out a few fragrances that I consider cheapies, and you're gonna see how the price fluctuates here. So, first up, my initial, well, let me pull one more out. Okay, so I have several different variations here, and the first variation I'm going to show, which is what I considered cheapies in the beginning, and this falls into the category of fragrances like Nautica, Nautica Voyage, what else? Black is Black Sport, Burberry, excuse me, some Versace's, stuff like that. So this one is from Jacques Bogart, and this is Silver Scent Pure. A very, very, very attractive fragrance. It smells almost like grape, kinda. Let me spray a little. I haven't worn this in a while. Has a smooth grape type vibe to it. Damn good fragrance. I think I paid about between $12 and $15 for this. That's a cheapie. Great quality of juice for an inexpensive price. So these are fragrances that I actually started my collection with. Stuff like this, stuff like Azaro Chrome, some of the ones I named a few minutes ago. This is where I started. And then, as time went by, I started looking for clones of certain fragrances because I couldn't afford like Dior Sauvage, which made me search, and somebody brought it up one day to check Walmart, find one called Primitive Man, and that's what I did. I went to Walmart, I found this fragrance called Primitive Man. Some people are going to disagree, which is their opinion, but to my nose, this smells damn close to Dior Sauvage. This performs very well on my skin. Great longevity, great projection. I did get compliments. I sprayed this on and walked into my mom's house, and my little nieces were telling me I smelled good. My sisters, who are right under me, I'm 41, I'll be 42 in December. They were telling me I smelled good. My mom and my stepdad told me I smelled good. So this is not a bad fragrance for somebody who is starting a fragrance collection and they're looking into purchasing. If they can't afford the real deal, nothing wrong with buying a clone or an alternative. I paid about $7 and some change for this, or $8. It was like $6.99 or 7 something at Walmart. And they have plenty of these that smell like Polo and all different. This is the only one I was interested in. So I tried to steer clear of these once my knowledge of fragrances started getting a little more extensive. So I don't have too many of these type fragrances. This is probably the only one from Walmart that I own. That Bell Cam. So, but like $7.99, $8 is a cheapie, and people can stay in this lane if they want to, or they can venture off and go a little higher. So $7.99, 12, 13, 14, $15, somewhere around in there. So you see it's going up a little. Something like Well Ohm Gold, which smells like 1 million. If you can't afford Paco Rabanne's 1 million, and which they're not that expensive now, they have came down in price some, but if it's still not in the price range that you're looking to pay for a fragrance, this is a cheap alternative that projects well and lasts. A lot of people are going to talk shit about this fragrance because it costs you like between $12 and $15. But everybody can't afford to buy those expensive fragrances. So I tend to stick with what I know. Another cheapie is they got these out by Karen Lowe. And this one is in particular pure red. And this one ran me $12.99 at TJ Maxx. Smells damn like Polo Red Extreme or Polo Red. It smells just like it. So if you can't afford Polo Red Extreme prices, then this is a cheaper alternative to that. $12.99. Now, when your money is different, when you are not really in a budget rut to where you want to try to stick to within the, I'll say, $10 to maybe $50, $60 range, if you bump up out of that category a little bit, then you start to get up in price a little bit. So everybody knows what Chanel runs. This is Chanel Allure Homme Sport Extreme or Extreme, however you want to say it. This is a 50 ml, and I couldn't afford nothing bigger than this because Chanel prices do not come down for some strange reason. And every blue moon you might find one that goes down in price, like a smaller bottle like this that was on sale or something, or you get some kind of discount. Like I got a discount for, I think I bought this, and I bought what's the name of that, Missoni, and I got a discount because I applied for a Belks credit card, and they gave me like a certain percentage off and something else they gave me, which made the price for both fragrances drop down to about, I think, like 80 some odd dollars, 70 something to 80 some odd dollars, because it was well over 100 and something dollars for both of these fragrances. But I got both of them, you could say, for around 40 some odd dollars a piece. So that's not bad. So this falls into my category, a cheapie range. If you can get something at a retail store for a discounted price or a marked down sale price, then that falls into the cheapie category for me. Now, if you just go in and you just spend, 70, 80, 90, 100 and something dollars for a fragrance, then obviously you balling out of control and you can afford it. So it is what it is, and there's no cap on that. This one falls into the cheapie category for me. This is Prada Luna Rossa Sport. And, well, it says Prada Old Sport Luna Rossa. That's what it says. This is a 125 ml bottle. And I walked into Ross one day and seen this on the shelf. It was in a box. And the price tag, I think, was $39.99. So it was like $40. There is no way in hell I was going to pass this up when I know what this runs in, like Ulta and Belks and Macy's and places like that. This runs you at least $100 and some odd for this size bottle. Even for 100 ml, if it comes in 100 ml, will run you $100 and something. So I had to jump on that. So that's considered to me a cheapie because I found this at a discounted price. Not to say that this fragrance is cheap as hell or, it's a discount store fragrance. No, this is the same stuff that you buy at, Belks, Macy's, Sephora, whatever. Same fragrance. It was just sent to a discount store, marked down. And people usually will pass on stuff like this, the snobs, I'll say, because they looking at it as, oh, well, Ross has this. Well, something must be wrong with it. Or if he found it at TJ Maxx, then something's wrong with it. No, that's not the case. Whatever the case may be, it's still a great fragrance. I still got lots of compliments when I wore this. I'm glad I have it. And if you don't want to buy it, when you see it at one of them discount stores, that means more for me and more for people like me. So, whatever. But this is, to me, considered a cheapie. $40, even though it costs more somewhere else. Now, Club De Nuit Intense Man, $35. Damn good. Well, this was considered at one point in time to be a damn good close clone to Creed Aventus, in which when I purchased this, I had never smelt Creed Aventus. I only smelled this one. And when I did finally get to smell Aventus, they did smell similar on the dry down, not the opening, because this is lemony and Aventus is more pineapple-y and fruity. So besides that difference, there is not too much more of a difference in my book. People are going to say what they want to say, but to me, on the dry down, they smell too much similar. So this is perfect for me, $35 versus paying, whatever the hell Creed runs you these days. This is a cheapie, $35. Great fragrance. Now, for somebody who has a little more coin to spend, and the only reason why I ended up with this particular fragrance in my collection, and when I first smelled it, I wanted it. It was already etched in my mind that I was going to get it someday. Luckily, I ran across some cash, and it wasn't my money to spend. Well, actually, it was my money to spend, but it didn't come from me working for it. It came from somebody else. So, this is Albertash Concepts #1. And this fragrance runs you about $200 to $250 in the store I bought it from. And I think it was $200. Online, you find this fragrance is like $400. And I got it for like $150. And for someone who has the money to fork out like that with no problem and not even think twice about it, or not have the notion that, damn, I shouldn't have bought that, I think I should take it back. Anytime you think like that, you just spent too much, or you just did something you weren't supposed to do. When I bought this, I didn't have that thought because it wasn't my money. I spent $150 for this. This is a damn good fragrance. This is probably hands down the best fragrance I have in my collection, and the highest priced fragrance in my collection. So it really all depends on what your financial preference is. If you choose to go anywhere beyond a certain limit, then that's up to you. I think Scentbird and Scent Monkey and places like that are kind of a ripoff. Number one, they have like a flat F the last time I checked by the Better Business Bureau, as far as like, them dealing with customer service and stuff like that. So I would never deal with them anyway. I almost did it, and Ash from Gent Sense shed some light on it, and he said it really wasn't worth it paying $15 a month for little samples of pretty much what you're getting is something like this. And no, this did not come from one of those websites. This came from a subscriber, and this is actually Derby Clubhouse Blanche by Armoff. But you basically get something like this, and you get like maybe a month's supply, how many ever days of this one particular fragrance, and you pay $15 a month. Well, it kind of works out for somebody who doesn't want to spend 20, 30, 40, $50 a month on a fragrance when you can just get these one per month, and they keep coming in different fragrances. The bad thing about it is you will probably never, maybe one out of every, I don't know how many ever you get throughout a year, you might get maybe one true different fragrance or something new. But for the most part, you're going to get like a Zorro Chrome, you're going to get John Varvatos, you're going to get maybe a Burberry London, or you're going to get Gucci, something cheesy. You might get, maybe a Issey Miyagi or something like that. But for the most part, you're not going to get like Chanel, Allure Sport, Eau Extreme, or you're not going to get any of the newer stuff that's out, like Creed or Ventus or nothing. You may not get none of that. So it's really not worth the money if you look at it in those aspects. The price per milliliter really don't help either. What you're going to spend, let's just say you go out and you order this. I don't know how many milliliters this is, but you're spending $15 for this, and you can get this for $15 or $20. Now look at the difference. Which one you think is going to last longer? This one. Unless you just don't wear this but one time. But look at what you're getting. You spend $15, $14.99 for this little ass thing. Or you can go to a store and spend $15 to $20 for this, which is what, about $5, roughly $5 more than this little ass thing. Now let me back up so you can, like, seriously, why in the hell am I going to spend $15 a month getting these when I can just go and get a whole one like this of something that I know I'm going to like and I'll have for a while? It makes no sense. So I kind of get what people are saying, but for me, regardless as to how people look at it, with me, it's still about your price point and where you put it. If you put it at $20, then stick with $20, and those are cheapies. If you want to go with $10 fragrances, there are plenty of $10 fragrances out there that you can find that are pretty decent. You can go to City Trends and find decent fragrances. If you like Cuba fragrances, the ones that look like cigars, they sell those in a 4-pack for like $7. You can get the big one, and they run you anywhere from $3, $4, $5 to $7, $10. So it depends on your preference. If you want to put preference at 15, 20, 25 and up, that's up to you, however you want to look at it. And like I said, people they are gonna look at it in their standpoint versus how their lifestyle is and what their beliefs are. Me personally, my belief is, it is what it is. Wherever you set that price point and you sticking to it, then those are your cheapies. So with that being said, guys, I am going to end this video and try and get me a little nap. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If anything else comes up, I'll do another video. Peace.